guys, welcome back to my channel. I was gone for a few weeks because I was in Prague, but I'm back now. So I started reading these books. This is, as a lady would say, A Lady at the Table. There's a third one, 50 Things Every Young Lady Should Know. I'm not saying that you have to, live and die by these rules, but when it comes to just being a lady as opposed to a girl, I think this really helps put me in the mindset of aging gracefully and becoming older without being afraid of it. You don't just poof turn into some sort of a witch troll when you turn 30. There's actually a lot to look forward to in the beauty of becoming. Let's do a deep dive into the style crisis that every woman appears to be facing in her 20s. What am I supposed to look like when I put on an outfit? I don't want to look like a college kid. I don't want to look like a mom with 4 kids. I don't want to look like a librarian. And I don't want to look like one of those fashion TikTokers who puts you know what I'm talking about, the trouser with the Brandy Melville t-shirt, or the old money cardigan, or the monochromatic, modest, they keep throwing that word around, no crop tops allowed. It's stuffy, it's boring, there's no personality in it, it's unfun. I'm 27, and even if I wasn't 27, I still don't think I would want to dress like that. There's no life in these outfits. The teenage girls, they need to see a hot girl in the mirror to know that they're hot. The same way a baby needs to see their parents in front of them to know that their parents are there. They want to be cute, they want to be comfortable when they go out dancing, when they go out to the bars or whatever. So they've got their sneakers, they've got their denim shorts, they've got their crop tops, and more power to them. And then poof, one magical day you turn 25 and your brain starts working for the first time. And you realize, you know what? Yeah, just because my parents aren't right in front of me doesn't mean that they don't exist anymore. I don't need to wear a crop top to know that I'm hot. I don't need to wear a bikini to know that I have a 6-pack abs. I don't have anything to prove, not just to other people, but to myself. When I see the old Victoria's Secret ads like this is beautiful, by the way. They're wearing this underclothes. If you look at college kids today or people under 25, they're wearing stuff like this out to the bars. And when I got a little bit older, something just clicked in my brain where I was like, what? It just doesn't make sense. What exactly are we trying to prove here? There's just something so much more fun about just wearing this underneath your actual clothes. Of course, that means now you have to find actual clothes that don't look like Swiss cheese. I think that's kind of my biggest issue with the current style landscape of what is currently being pushed on, I guess, my age group of late 20s, early 30s, how to be a classy lady. It very much gives that same energy of having something to prove, and it's just the opposite direction. You want to prove to everyone that you are a sophisticated young woman, and somehow it is just doing the exact opposite. So I did some digging, and I found vintage Victoria's Secret and vintage J. Crew, basically 1993. 1993, what was in the water? Where can I get some? Because everyone, just the general consensus of what was beautiful and sophisticated and mature was quite literally unmatched. We do not have a modern version of this yet. And maybe that's because we're the new generation and now we have to come up with it ourselves for the new age. But I decided to do a deep dive into this and figure out exactly what it is that gives off this vibe. So the first component of this is just independence, mental, physical, emotional, financial, or pursuit of financial independence. So this is probably one of my favorite pictures of all time, by the way. Being the working woman without compromising on your femininity. So I think like today, people aren't doing their hair anymore. People aren't doing their makeup anymore. They're trying to make it look like minimalist. Minimalist means like, you know, if you have the style spectrum, you have very feminine over here, very masculine over here, and minimalist is nothing, like giving us absolutely nothing. Number two is self-confidence. And nothing says self-confidence like owning your own features. And I think that's what's really missing today as opposed to like maybe back then in 1993. Botox and just the widespread acceptance of altering your face in pursuit of a perfect Instagram face, like that wasn't a concept that was there back then as much since we didn't have social media. There is nothing that says confidence like owning your own nose or your own features and like doing your makeup in a way that complements those features as opposed to covering them up or hiding them. When the clothes are relatively simple like this, what happens is your presence has to kind of take over and give life to the clothes. And I think that's really what a lot of fashion is missing these days. When is the last time you saw a model on the runway at Fashion Week really giving life to the clothes the way Gisele Bündchen or Naomi Campbell or any of the supermodels of the 90s brought personality into the runway? And that presence comes from who you are and your own personality. So that's going to require some work. And I think that's why it doesn't really hit the same if you try to dress very old money or mature before you are really old enough to pull it off. And I think as we get older, and this is kind of part of aging gracefully, the more of a presence you have, the less work your clothes really need to do in order to make you look good. So I think there needs to be a little bit of a balance in your late 20s. Like you got to be able to pull out the mini skirts, like the beaded mini skirts, or the really fun, colorful jewelry, the chunky jewelry, the leopard print, the fur. You got to be able to do that without looking like you have something to prove. So, and when I say something to prove, I don't just mean the world, I mean to yourself. Like you got to wear clothes because you like to wear the clothes, not because you're trying to make a statement. Then you can really start to play with style elements and, depending on the occasion, really lean into the character of who you're trying to portray in that event. I tried to do this at the ballet the other day. I wore this, we were watching Swan Lake, the ballet, and I wore this black velvet dress with a slit, and it had black ostrich feathers, like off shoulder. And it was a very simple dress, nothing too crazy or anything like that, but somehow with like my hair and just the way my complexion is, that whole thing together really looked like a black swan. And it was just, you know, it wasn't the dress doing that. It was me as a person too. Those are my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed them.